Getting focused. Alright. Face reveal, right? So random. Figured this is probably the best occasion for a face reveal because today it is June 5th, 2025, which is the official release date of the Nintendo Switch 2. Need I say any more? Alright. Bear with me here because this is my first IRL video. The Nintendo Switch 2. Now if you are familiar with my channel at all, you already know I'm a huge video game fan, obviously. But I'm also a huge Nintendo fan. So I did pick this up last night. As you can see, they even handed out these at GameStop. Yeah, here you go. That's a lot. So unfortunately, for the first time in 8 years when Nintendo dropped a console, my brother had his university graduation. So your boy couldn't actually pull up to any of the midnight releases, but huge thank you to my friend who ended up actually waiting in line for me to get this. Obviously I paid him back. But no, pretty much one of his friends were waiting in line anyway, so he figured he might as well tag along with him regardless. So yeah, I'm still fortunate enough to have actually gotten one. But it does kind of suck that I wasn't there to get the full experience. But I mean, yeah, I'm ready for the occasion. I got the red hoodie to match the red box, which is packaging a not red Switch. They don't do colors, they're just starting with the basic gray. I mean, obviously, the Joy-Cons have a bit of, orange and blue, like the iconic Switch colors. But yeah, I like this box. It's a lot more, packed in, small. It's a lot easier to, kind of handle. Because the original Switch box is, let me go get that. Okay, so this was the original box, which is so nostalgic. I haven't looked at this thing in years, but I mean, if you just get a quick size comparison, it is a bit thinner, but it is noticeably longer. If you just kind of, hold them at the same end. All this excess length, yeah, you don't need that. And it's crazy because this Switch is actually bigger than the original one. So, that's one thing they improved on. So far, you're 1-for-1 Nintendo, go crazy. Oh, and just really quickly, the back of this is just Mario Kart World. Kind of fire. Alright, I'm low-key hyped, I'm not gonna lie. There we go, nice little peel. Let you guys see it first. Oh wow, hold on. Okay. What? Okay, maybe, hold on, I didn't even see anything yet. Why am I hyped? Let's chill. Alright, where do we start? Alright, so I don't want everything to fall out, but as you can see, we got the Switch itself, we got the two Joy-Cons. Let's start with the Switch. Let's start with the Joy-Cons. Alright, so here's the blue one. I do know that these Joy-Cons and obviously the Switch itself is noticeably bigger than the original one. I do have my OG one over there. I'll bring that over here in a second just to give a quick comparison. But jeez Louise, this thing's sleek. That new controller feel, I'm kind of speechless, guys. I like how this pops up a bit more. It's not just like a flat thing like the OG Joy-Con, and it does feel a little bit easier to handle. One of my complaints with the original Switch is the size of the Joy-Cons. Just not necessarily the size itself, but more so the size of it when you're playing, with one Joy-Con horizontally. I feel like I can actually low-key cook some people in Mario Kart with this thing. I don't even need an extra grip. I feel like I can actually handle this pretty well. And I completely forgot that these don't slide in anymore. Obviously they're gonna actually plug into the Switch, but we'll get there in a second. Then we got the orange one, of course. Wow, these are nice. These are nice. I don't know if the camera's doing these colors justice, but they look pretty cool. definitely bigger. Let me actually get my Joy-Cons. Alright, we got the OG Switch. Got these red Joy-Cons on right now. Let's just do a quick comparison of these two left Joy-Cons. Yeah. Okay. They almost look the same size this way. These actually might even be a little bit thinner, which is crazy because the tech in these new Joy-Cons are a lot better. Obviously, you can do that little mouse scrolly thing. But yeah, this is definitely noticeable. Just to show you kind of what this would look like on an OG Switch. Like, look at this. Like, this is like, come on. This is crazy. This is crazy. Don't know about that OG click though. I know this is not really a thing anymore, but I'm gonna miss it. I actually haven't touched my Switch like in handheld mode in probably 2 years. I only play dock now, and that's when I do play it. All right, now let's dive into the meat and potatoes. You know what I mean? Let's get this Switch out. This thing looks like a tablet. Like, this thing's actually big. Oh wow. Okay. All right. Corner to corner. Look at that. Look at that size difference. That's actually insane. And honestly, comparing the weights, this doesn't feel significantly heavier, honestly. If I was blindfolded and held both of these at the same time, I wouldn't really be certain as to which one's heavier. I guess maybe this one by a little bit, but it's not bad at all. Let's slide this thing out. Woo. I guess one of the new features I could show you guys before I actually turn it on or put these Joy-Cons on is this new kickstand, which is definitely a lot more stable than the original one, and this feels durable actually. This feels durable. Catch me at the local park, just drop some kids off on the court. All of a sudden I'm like, yo, let's play some Mario Kart. What? And then it just snaps right back in. It's almost like there's a magnet. I don't know if there actually is. I'm not really sure, but that's nice. Obviously, you got where you put your cartridge. You got a headphone jack. You have a USB-C port here, which is good because obviously there is one here for the dock and for charging, but you can also charge it from this angle. So if you do want to play with your kickstand, you know, you can actually charge and play at the same time using the other port, which is honestly a great fix because that was one of the issues with the other Switch. So, okay, Nintendo. Here we go. Let's just see. Oh, wow. Holy moly. Wow. No effort. It just snaps right in. Yo, you gonna focus, dude? GG. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see myself playing this on handheld. It just looks so much more clean and less childish. And honestly, one of my favorite things about Nintendo consoles is that they don't always try to look so mature and like professional. Like, they look fun with these, you know, nice Joy-Con colors. And granted, it might look so professional because of the fact that there's no color Joy-Cons. It's just the, you know, full blacked out, grayed out Switch, which is the only version that's out right now. But this thing just feels firm. It doesn't feel flimsy. It feels durable. And it just feels comfortable. It feels more comfortable. Maybe that's just because it's new. Maybe I'm biased. But yeah, I mean, this old Switch feels fine. And I take care of my as I'm wiping the screen to try to show you. But I do take pretty good care of my consoles. I mean, I've had this thing since beginning of 2018 and it's pretty good condition. But this just feels more, I don't know why I keep switching angles, but yeah, let's continue. Before I do turn this thing on, which I feel like that's kind of one of the more climactic parts of it, we should probably look at the other things too, such as the dock and the controller grip. Oh, actually, since I got the bundled version, they got the download code here, which honestly, I like having physical copies of games, especially games that I care about a little bit more. But that price, which, hey, let's talk about the price real quick. So I live in Canada, so obviously, you know, exchange rates and different values of currencies come into play here, but $6.99, so $700 retail price without tax. Nintendo, that is actually disgusting. But I'm actually not going to complain because honestly, Nintendo does make very good consoles. In my opinion, at least. I know a lot of people don't like Nintendo, and a lot of people love Nintendo. They offer a lot of things that a lot of people don't offer. Maybe not as much now because, you know, the Steam Decks come out and there's a bunch of other like handheld consoles coming out. Like I think Xbox has one coming soon, and then I know PlayStation has one as well. But I honestly don't mind the price of it because it is just a much better Switch, which is gonna have a bunch of new games and stuff. And there's you know, some interesting features too, like with the Joy-Cons and all that. But where my issue really lies is the game prices. Mario Kart World costing $120 before tax in Canada is genuinely like, I know they said they were gonna do something called dynamic pricing, where they were going to kind of decide the price of the game based on, you know, how big the budget of the game was, or how much it's really worth, which is cool because not every game is gonna cost $120. But Mario Kart, out of anything, you know, maybe if there's a new Zelda game, or you know, maybe like even the new Donkey Kong game, I feel like is more understandable to be 120, but I think that one's 105 in comparison to this being 120 plus tax, which is just, I can't really defend that. The console, sure, this is crazy. But with that being said, let's dive back in. So, and we got these straps too. I actually didn't know this thing came with these things. It's actually my first time detaching the thing as well. Is it this button right here? Oh, is that it? Okay, fire. How does this work? Okay. Yeah, it really doesn't add too much, but it could be helpful for games that have like motion controls. You know, you got the little strap just for safety. You know, maybe for if you have any crazy kids in the house, there you go. But yeah, how do you take this out? Is this just this button? Oh, okay. Let's get that click one more time. About to get hyped. Of course, the HDMI. I don't know if this HDMI is any different. I think this might be like a HDMI 2.1 because I know this thing runs 4K, so if you do have a 4K TV, you might actually be better off replacing and using the new HDMI they give you rather than having your old one. But that depends on what HDMI you have and whatnot. So let's lift this thing. More packaging. Let's start with the fun stuff here. Obviously you got the power cable. Oh, okay. So you have the brick, but it's actually detachable. Like you can plug in the USB-C cord, which is actually a lot more convenient, especially for like packing things. That's very nice. We got the controller grip, which I feel like is a little less exciting than the dock, to be honest. Which it looks nice. Also, hold on. So if any of you guys did see my 5 things I want to see on the Switch 2, or 5 things the Switch 2 should have, did I not predict this being the logo? Let's just roll that clip.
If it were up to me, I mean, my mind's blank. I'd probably throw a 2 on the dock and call it a day.
So, Nintendo. Y'all trying to hook a brother up? Wasn't even funny. Let's try these. Honestly, you know, we've seen this before. It's nothing crazy. Not that comfortable, but not the worst thing ever. I do like how they made the buttons bigger. Honestly, that's a little nice. The joysticks are pretty much the same. It's whatever, you know. I'll probably play with it for now just to get the new experience. but I had my Switch 1 Pro controller, so I'm probably gonna use that because those are compatible. Yeah, I'll probably just use my Switch 1 Pro controller eventually because those are compatible until I get the new one, because I do want a new one. I feel like half of the fresh experience is kind of taken away for using an old controller, but it's chill. I got busy last night. Couldn't even finish opening this thing. Life got in the way. It happens. Yeah, let's just dive back in. I got a tripod now too, so this could actually be better. Alright, so where we last left off, we got the dock. Woo! It looks pretty nice, to be honest. This thickness actually kind of reminds me of the Wii U gamepad, to be honest. But yeah, a lot of people were complaining that the space between the two ends are like way too big and it makes the Switch feel all flimsy. I guess we could try it out ourselves. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could kind of see the complaint a little bit, but honestly, these are the same people that were complaining about their Switch screens getting scratched from the original dock, so I think this is a way better alternative, and I think people should just stop complaining, to be honest. But yeah, you know, it's your standard dock. I mean, it looks a little different and whatnot. You got your two USB ports here. This whole back half actually just comes off like that. You got, it's kind of dark, but you got Ethernet here, another USB port, and then the USB-C outlet here to actually, you know, power the dock. So yeah, and then this just comes right back on. Not too shabby. I actually like the dock, honestly. I guess just to compare it to the original dock, you know, roughly the same size-ish. I kind of do like this one more. I feel like it just has a little more personality. I like how it's, you know, curved edges rather than just being a rectangle. But honestly, they feel pretty similar for the most part, but yeah. And I guess with that being said, this is kind of the moment of truth. I mean, we kind of covered most of the important stuff here. I guess the last thing we can do here is just turn it on. Okay. New animation. Bro, look at this dog, right? Should I ruin the shot? GG! Okay. Whoa, okay. Okay, hold on. We got a lot to unpack. We got a lot to unpack here. Can this focus? Alright, so first of all, you got music. Finally, Nintendo does something with music again, bro. I'm tired of these soulless ass menus. Sorry. Even though I know the menu is going to be soulless again, but you know what? At least they got a little music here. One thing I do want to talk about are the bezels. Obviously, you can tell the bezels here are pretty big, especially for a screen that's, you know, on the smaller side, comparatively speaking, at least. Yeah, the bezels on the top and bottom are a lot slimmer, which is awesome. I mean, they're kind of big here, but they're still slimmer than the original one, so that's actually fire. And yeah, I'll just kind of set this up really quick. Well, I guess here's a great example of the inconvenience of only having this charging port at the bottom. Like, you see how stupid this looks compared to this? But it's okay. As you can see, the transfer is going through now. We can go ahead and start the download. Alright, and I guess I'll just cut back to when this finishes up. Alright, finally. Hold on, how are you gonna be done and then you just give me another minute? Like, excuse me? Oh, wait, this, okay, so now it works. Alright. Hey, okay. Oh, it's gonna take a while though. Okay. Well, Just when you thought it was over, I'll be back. Well, I guess while we're here, might as well take a little look at the system itself. You see, we got some new sounds, which is nice. Not bad. Here's some of my hours up. YouTube, GG. Yeah, yeah, I do like the new sounds. That's nice. I'm glad they at least did like some changes. You get the virtual game cards thing here, which honestly, I don't even know how it works yet. You pretty much just got like your library on here of all your old stuff, which is cool. Nothing really crazy, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna let these download just for a quick comparison. And then you got the old sounding Switch. They did add some of the, the newer features, like this news thing's new. Like this news icon, that's definitely newer. The game share thing, the virtual game cards is on here now. I just like how this thing sounds a lot more. Yeah, yeah. So I guess while everything's downloading, I might as well just set up the dock. My old Switch dock used to be right there. You got the HDMI cord. I'm just gonna replace all the cords, put the new dock in, and then just kind of let this thing continue downloading while I do so. Like, hello? Does this thing want to plug in, dude? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not that cool, but moment of truth. Can you guys even see that? Alright, well, luckily my TV does have 4K, so okay. Look at that. I think my games are almost done. No, not really. Hey, you know what? It's fine. Okay. In the meantime, I haven't seen what the eShop looks like, so might as well check that out. Dude, I just did this. Alright. Oh, okay. Okay. It's a little different. Nintendo, no eShop music. What are we doing? Other than that, though, looks pretty cool. Like, look at the prices, though. I guess digital's a little bit cheaper because the in-person's $120, but come on. Hey, but you know what? This is actually nice. This is organized a lot better than the Switch One, and not only that, the UI and just the overall like performance of the eShop on the Switch One, it was so laggy. It was honestly horrible. So this is way better. I guess another thing I could point out too is I do like how they have like round edges around the games now. I mean, it's really not a big detail, and you got a little color around it too, which is cool. Not really the craziest detail added, but it looks nice nonetheless. You know what I mean? But let's install this Mario Kart World, because I low-key forgot a new Mario Kart game came out, and I kind of want to play it now. So okay, Nintendo, y'all are the goats. I can't read that. No, dude, I gotta guess now. Finally. Dude, I kid you not, I had to do trial and error because some of those letters or characters weren't even visible. Okay. Let's do it. Excuse me? I mean, this isn't really a gameplay video, this is really just an unboxing, but I figured I might as well just get kind of my first reaction to my first game of Mario Kart. I did load it up earlier, camera died, so I'm like, okay, let me just come back. But yeah, let's just dive into something real quick. I guess I probably should beat them all in order. I'll just start with 50cc. I know I'm kind of just experimenting this game. Let's get that. I'm not gonna lie, this game looks really good. I haven't even seen it on docked mode yet, but just on handheld. I really like this. Yeah, that was just kind of a time lapse of my first game of Mario Kart on the Switch 2. And now it's July 20th. So what happened? I'm not gonna lie. I work almost every day. And then I just got lazy, to be honest. I had time, I just got lazy. I literally just woke up and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna edit today. I'm just gonna edit, see what happens. Edited for probably 3 to 4 hours. So the version of me that you're seeing right now is the version that is filming this outro, putting it in there, and then uploading the video. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, and if you actually, honestly, even if you didn't enjoy the video, if you made it to the very end, genuinely thank you so much. Yeah, this is my longest video ever, so, you know, it was kind of different to edit, and also it's my first video where I'm actually, you know, the first video where you're actually seeing my face and stuff, so, yeah, if you did like the video, go ahead, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. More videos are coming soon. And with that being said, thank you so much. Peace out.